So you've just got to chase work wherever you can go, really. That's the toughest year I've had so far. You know, you've got to watch every dollar, and a lot of things get pushed back and chasing your tail a fair bit. You don't know where the next job's coming in, so you're constantly looking for more work.
It's a Thursday in the West Australian town of Jerramungup, and I'm spending the afternoon at the sporting complex.
Crossfeet!
Watching the next generation of local kids learn how to play netball.
Do you want to have a game? Do we have a game today?
Yeah! Dale has been coaching for quite a few years now.
Yeah, I coach the little Net Set Go kids, so 6 years old till about 9 years old, and teach them right from the beginning how to play netball.
All the while juggling her main job in the local shearing industry.
I'm a shearing contractor here with my partner. We've been contracting for 2 years. I grew up in the shearing industry. My dad was a shearer, so it's always been a part of my life. It's always been there, something I was always familiar with.
It's a similar story across many country towns. Shearing teams are a big part of regional communities, providing important financial support.
Contractors and their workers are like a huge backbone of the economic and social aspect of a small town. We employ anywhere between 10 and 20 workers at a time. They make their money in the area and they spend their money in the area. The money goes through the grocery store, goes through the pub, the roadhouse, the sports clubs, so it keeps the money flowing through the town.
But Dale is one of many now facing an uncertain future, following the federal Labor government's decision to end live sheep exports by sea in 2 years' time.
It was an absolutely terrible decision, and I think that's showing now. I think people are realising how bad of a decision it was. It just was never going to pan out the way the government was saying.
And Dale says since the announcement, the impact is already being felt.
21 years ago, when I started in the industry, we had 4 weeks a year. That was our downtime, off-season. And now that is 4 months a year that we don't have any shearing.
She believes the decision will force some families to look for other jobs or even leave their communities altogether if no other work can be found.
Will be a lot less people here in the clubs as social members and sporting members. A lot less kids in the sporting teams. Families would have to leave town.
Would you stick around?
No. I'd have nothing to be here for if there were no sheep.
And it's not just Jerramungup or Dale's team feeling the impact. Shearing work has dropped right across the region because of a decline in sheep numbers.
Well, even the last 2 months I've been making phone calls every week looking for more work. You know, Muds will have a bit, then I went over to Rulina Station, went up to Moora for a couple of days, Quindanning. So you've just got to chase work wherever you can go, really. That's the toughest year I've had so far. You know, you've got to watch every dollar, and a lot of things get pushed back and chasing your tail a fair bit. You don't know where the next job's coming in, so you're constantly looking for more work.
There's probably a lot of more people on the dole, a lot of more people just scratching to make ends meet when they're used to having like a well-paying 9-month, 10-month a year job. Now, a lot of the jobs aren't paying anywhere near as good, and it's taken down people's quality of life because they couldn't afford, they don't have the skills to go to the mines and make that equivalent money.
Almost $140 million was set aside to support industry transition away from the live export of sheep by sea. Now, part of that funding has gone towards launching a West Australian program called Beyond the Shed. So far, over 90 shearers have signed up and nearly 30 contractors.
So when you're ready, we can fire it up.
A number of shearers recently completed a 2-day agricultural training program near York, east of Perth.
Now you can bring your revs up now.
Completing a range of tasks, way different to a shearing shed. What are some of the things that you've been learning here today?
The machinery and how they run and how they work, and I didn't realise they were as full on as they are.
Know what this is called at all?
That's it.
The bucket.
Wayne Lightbody was one of the people leading the training sessions.
We've got people that are involved in the shearing industry, and they can see the light on the tunnel that they're going to be out of work, and if they have no other skill sets to fall back on, this will give them another option.
As more farmers leave the sheep industry and turn to grain growing, much of the training focused on developing the skills to help get a crop in the ground and out.
My biggest thing is learning how to use and respect the machinery, because of the value of some of the machines that people might be driving, like a decent seeding rig's $1.5 million. And so if you don't look after it, somebody's going to get pissed off if you do things wrong. That's what I say, you've got to learn to think. Like reversing a trailer, which they have to use mirrors on because you can't see behind because of the fire unit. How to lift up a shuttle and relocate it using the forks. Picking up dirt or lime or gypsum and loading a spreader, all those sorts of functions.
What do you reckon you want to do, like, say, next year?
Tiffany Davey coordinates the Beyond the Shed program,
I've always thought about doing
travelling across the state's growing regions to connect teams with opportunities.
So on the 4th of May, you'll have chainsaw.
Tiff's own experiences were what inspired her. She was involved with the live sheep trade to the Middle East for years.
I'm a sheep girl through and through, and I worked a lot in the live export industry, sailing. And obviously it's interesting because there was a decline in the ships, and then the phase out will directly affect my contract work. So I have that in common with the shearing crews, and I just saw it as a way, I suppose, to not make the best of the situation, but I suppose, you know, work with the situation that we've been dealt. The great thing about it is the fact that it was industry thought of and industry driven. So it was a group of contractors who sat around a table and they came up with this program themselves and knew that there would be a decline in sheep, and so was very proactive for their industry, on behalf of their industry. There's a lot of fee-free TAFE courses out there, so my role is to prepare them to get TAFE ready, so that you need a student identification number. To get a student identification number, you need enough points of ID. I have helped them go through that process, get those points of ID back, so then we can get the US sign number and they can go to TAFE. So that's where Beyond the Shed is really unique, in the sense we're meeting everyone where they're at, literally and figuratively, going out to the sheds during their lunch break to call the licensing centre, going to the quarters after work to sit there and work through the admin.
And how much money overall went to this program?
For $2.2 million of the money was put towards the program.
We're just chatting, and I said, well, looks like we'll have to go back to doing what we used to do, Rob. Driving tractors and driving harvesters and just working on farms.
Veteran WA shearer Darren Spencer says the concept builds on ideas that have worked before.
So we got to the co-design workshop and she said, well, tell me what you used to do. So we had a Zoom meeting, and I think there was about 16 of them through various agencies, through the government agencies that were on the call, and they said, rightio, if we give you some seed funding, can you develop it?
Darren hopes the program will set an example for other parts of Australia.
You know, I've worked quite a bit with the eastern states with Shearing Contractors Australia, and I understand over there that their numbers are getting down as well, and I think it's good for whole of industry. You know, we may only be running a pilot program at this stage. Who knows what's there in the future?
And while the program is focused on supporting people in the industry today, back in Jerramungup, Dale says initiatives like this will help keep regional communities strong for the future.
I think it's fantastic what they're doing, you know, helping shearing shed workers develop new skills so they can find work in the off-season and keep them in our communities year-round instead of just for 7 or 8 months of the year.
And when the next generation is already keen on a career in agriculture, investing in them becomes more important than ever.
Well, I like doing sheep work a lot, and I like looking after my lambs and my chooks. I want to be a farmer. I want to like trade pigs, chickens and cows, because milk, ham, bacon. I love ham and bacon. And the chickens I can use for eggs.